Michael Cole was hooked on the Corey Graves Booker T quote unquote heat that these two were having. Did you hear about that, King?
I heard a little bit about it, but I was never hooked. Are you serious? You bought into that?
Oh, me? No, I was. I mean, I wasn't hooked on it. I think a lot of people were. People legitimately thought that Booker T wanted to beat up Corey Graves. I think there's a little bit, though. I think there may be a little bit of that. I don't think you start that without.
Why? I mean, why would there be heat between two guys that work together every single week on the same show?
Well, I mean, just because you work together doesn't mean you have to like them, right?
Yeah, but you usually do, you know.
Well, I'm sure there's people you've worked with in the past that you.
Okay, you're right, Michael Cole. No, I pretty much like Michael Cole.
No, Michael Cole seems like a good guy.
Yeah, but anyway.
But no, I mean,
Corey Graves. You know what? We had a situation like that as well. When Corey came along, and it was almost like he took my place on one of the shows there, and so I forget what city it was in, but we had a match. I had a match against Corey Graves' brother somewhere up in Northeast Wrestling show up there, and I was wrestling Corey Graves' brother, and Corey Graves was at ringside doing commentary on the match that we had, and then he wound up getting involved in the match, and it seemed like there was some bad blood between he and I. I think he said something about now that I was in the past and he was the new top commentator there on Raw. And I believe I told him that I could eat a can of alphabet soup and crap better commentary than he does.
Well, Corey listens to the podcast. He's one of the listeners in the WWE, along with James, who's a loyal listener. Corey is a loyal listener of the show. But yeah,
probably just tells you that.
I mean, he knows a lot about the show. We DM on Twitter, but
cool.
But he knows.
You know what I did really enjoy? I really enjoyed doing the Royal Rumble match, the men's Royal Rumble match with Corey and Cole. It was like, I mean, I got to admit, I hadn't called a match in a long time there, and I was a little, I don't know, not nervous. I wasn't really nervous, but I was hoping that things went well, and when you work with three guys, and sometimes you have a four-guy booth, but luckily we just had three guys there, and I thought Corey did. When you're working a broadcast show and you're one of three or four guys in the booth, you got to really be cognizant of other guys' space and other guys' time. And Michael, if you go back and listen to, Michael is great at directing traffic, is what we like to call it. Michael will preface a question by he'll let you know who the question is for or who he's talking to, like King, well, in your experience, this or that happened or whatever, or Corey, when you're doing this or whatever, and so he did a great job of that. But Corey did a great job of I thought, kind of letting me shine, because I was there as the special guest commentator, and I thought there could have been a situation if there was a clash of personalities or whatever, where a guy wouldn't want somebody else to step in and shine in that situation. But Corey and Michael were both great on that, and I really enjoyed doing that match, and I thought it turned out really well.